Hey there! How's everyone doing? I'm still getting set up just a little bit. I'm turning my notifications off for Discord so I don't get spammed like last time. How you doing tonight? Let me get the... Yeah. Let me get the game pulled up real quick. I'm gonna have to turn the music off. There we go. Oh, that was such a smooth transition. Proud of that. Please. There we go. Alright, and make sure it's... Hello! Oh. That's not good. Please. Source selector. I'm professional, I swear. You know what? When I was making I changed my layout today, and it appears I forgot to add my game capture source, which is kind of an important thing to add if you're gonna be playing games. Just make that a little smaller so it like fits in the frame. And then it needs to go behind there. Nope, you need to go down. There we go. Just fill it in. Oh no, am I being dabbed upon? Where is the... okay. Man, I am a professional. Okay. Here, I'm gonna move this over here and then... Yeah, that's probably fine. Okay, so some new things. First of all, new setup. And also, I now have a follower goal. So if I can get like 50 followers, I'll do a super spooky stream. I'll play a horror game. And that's gonna be interesting because I'm not good with horror games. There we go. There we go. And of course it... No. Please, I beg of you, just fit in the frame. It's almost like I should have set this up earlier or something. You can't see the follower thing anymore, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, so that's the goal. Alright, in the actual game, we are going last route. If you guys didn't see it, I haven't uploaded the VOD from yesterday yet, but we did the George route, and I had some requests to do the jerk route, or like get the bad ending, so we're gonna do that. I also had a request for a specific name, so 9:59 p.m. You stretched in your seat, in the process of getting ready for a match of Hypixel with your friends when you've gotten a notification from your phone. It was an alert from Twitch. Your favorite streamers are online. You finished setting up and proceeded to wait for your friends in the lobby. Thinking that they were taking quite a long time, you decided to put the stream up on your phone. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream, guys. That's a good question. I actually never heard anything about this game before. I just saw it on, like, TikTok, and I thought that it would be cool to play. So, I actually don't know which of the bad endings I'm gonna get. Audio mixer, there we go. But I know that I'm gonna, like, not choose what I would think of as good choices, because I saw some of those. I'm here with George Argent Sapnap. Say hi. Hi. Hello. We'll be doing another Minecraft challenge this stream. This challenge, we've coded it so that Suddenly, I hear their voices begin to fade out as your eyelids start to feel heavy. Oh, there's a sad one? Aw. I almost cried at the ending I got. Just because I thought it was really sweet, and I'm like a sucker for happy endings. You fight against the urge to shut your eyes, but it was proven futile as your body fell back from your... As you felt your body fall back from your seat, completely blacking out. Thud. You let out a groan as you felt your back collide with the ground. You assumed that you had landed on the apartment floor until you heard 3 different voices from above you. Oh, okay. I don't want to hear any, I don't want to, like, hear anything. I kind of want this to be, like, a blind playthrough of trying to get the different endings, if that's alright. You assumed that you had landed on your apartment floor until you heard 3 different voices from above you. That was a really harsh fall. Do you think they're okay?
I don't know.
I don't know, Dream. Why don't you try landing a 140 block fall with no MLG? Dream? That name sounded familiar. That sound effect ringing in your ear was just as familiar too. You began to stir awake in an attempt to open your eyes. Wait, guys. Shh. They're waking up, I think. You are met with the 3 familiar faces looking down at you in concern. There they are again! Hey, are you okay? Here, let me help you up. You are brought to your feet by the tall male in front of you, your arms immediately flailing around you as you try to regain your balance. You then began to pat off the dirt on your pants as you come to the realization that you are surrounded by 3 of your favorite content creators. You're probably so confused right now. I go by Dream. What's yours? Still an odd way to ask for someone's name. This time we are RoboPope, the robot Pope. As requested by Chloe, you introduced yourself. Dream grins.
Hi.
RoboPope, the robot Pope. Nice to meet you. Dream was then pushed over to the side by the brunette, who had a bandana tied around his forehead. He seemed to be a really energetic person.
Hi.
Hi there, RoboPope the Robot Pope. I'm Sapnap. Sapnap, you didn't have to shove me. You just weren't quick enough to move out of the way. You bashfully nodded and waved back to the two as they both began to bicker. You heard a sigh coming from your right and looked towards the shorter brunette. I'm really sorry for these two. This is all completely normal.
Hello.
I'm George. Pleasured to meet you, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Chloe, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy right now, and I have to read out RoboPope the Robot Pope. George then cleared his throat loudly enough for the other two to hear. Good. So what's our plan now? Obviously, we're stuck in a Minecraft world, but we can't stay here forever. Flustered, Dream and Sapnap had fixed themselves and focused on the situation at hand. How do you think we can get out of this? Any ideas? It seemed like they have discussed this right before you had arrived, confirming that everyone was from the real world and was not a bot built into the game's code. Unlike me, RoboPope the Robot Pope, who is a bot. Seeing you fall from apparently 140 blocks high also served as enough evidence that you too were real to them. A moment of silence had passed for a while as the four of you tried to think of a solution. Free the end? Everyone turned to Dream. The what? The end. We find a stronghold, beat the Ender Dragon, and free the end. Just like how we usually do for our challenges. I'm not sure if this will help us get back, but it's worth a try, right? But then, this is us, Dream. We're not our characters anymore. We're actual people stuck in their places. We can't just die and respawn. 0 hearts and we disappear. How are you so sure about that? We don't know if that's true. Sapnap added the blue to proceed to punch George. A glimpse of George's health had appeared on the top of his head for a split second, with his last heart split in half. Dream's face faltered at this. Of all people, Sapnap, you really had to choose? So, if we're gonna finish this game, we all have to be careful. You nod along, gazing up to see that you had half of your entire health bar down due to your fall earlier. Alright, then let's split up. It's almost nighttime. I'll go mine for ores. George, you get us as many wood as you can. Sapnap, find us a proper place to reside in for now. The three of them went their separate ways. You left on your own. You wanted to help out too, so you decided to... Okay, last time we got wood, which was what George was doing, so I think this time we're gonna wander around. We're not gonna be helpful. You decided to walk a bit towards the side, where you had last seen Sapnap. Not too long after, you spot the familiar flare of his bandana, as he turned around to the side of your footsteps approaching him. Oh, so you decided to venture out with me? You rolled your eyes playfully as you ran up to his side. Finding a suitable place to stay wouldn't be that hard, right? Sapnap continued to ramble about various topics as you did most of the observation. From the corner of your eye you spotted a village. You exclaimed to catch the brunette's attention as you pointed at the spot. Nice one, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Give me chat. Where is it? Ah, there we go. I was so busy babbling that I didn't even get to notice. He then mined off a block of dirt. So that we can return from here later on. Let's continue walking around and see if we can find something even more interesting. You nodded and continued down the path the both of you were taking. As you made your way around, Sapnap spoke up. So, what do you think? You glanced at him, confused. Sapnap had just laughed as he placed his arms behind his head. I'm guessing you didn't hear me. Don't worry. I swear I'm kind enough to repeat myself. I was wondering, what would be the first thing you'd like to do the moment you get out of here? Ooh, none of these are like inherent, just immediately jerk choices. Go for a walk on the beach. That's something I'd probably actually say. Take a break from the computer. Have a hangout in real life. I'd rather stay here. I mean, that's like the most different of them, right? Nothing was exciting in the real world anyway. You were even able to meet your favorite people just because of this world too. Why bother leaving? Your response clearly intrigued him. Well, I've always wanted to see the impact of a creeper explosion up close. Maybe burned a different village too. He wickedly grinned at you as he takes your hand, leading you down the path even quicker as walking turned into jogging. As you reached the end, the biome turning from a grassy field to one of a jungle, the both of you had spotted the unruined nether portal. Your eyebrows raised in surprise as Sapnap turned around, his hands cupped around his mouth as he called out. Guys, we found a ruined portal! As his voice echoed throughout the dark oak forest, the two other members had made their way towards the both of you to regroup. Nice find! As everyone reunited, they had huddled around the ruined portal. Dream and George had exchanged the materials they have obtained, successfully creating a crafting table. Dream creates enough stone axes and pickaxes for everyone to be able to defend themselves when needed. George then stashes the crafting table in his inventory. Now, let's see what the chest has in store for us. He motions for Sapnap to take the lead. The brunette bounds over to the chest buried between the netherrack, opening up the lock and revealing the items inside. So, What do we got? A gapple. There's also a flint and steel, a few golden ingots, an enchanted golden helmet, and some obsidian blocks. Sapnap then quickly sweeps a hand into the chest before anyone could speak up. I call dibs on the flint and steel. George rolls his eyes before approaching the chest. Then, I'll grab the helmet. Dream was the last to approach the chest, bringing out the two remaining items. He holds them both in his hands as if to weigh his choices. Here, RoboPope the Robot Pope. He tosses the golden apple to you. You glanced at it for a second before looking back up towards the blonde. He simply smiled back at you. You'll need it more than I do. Besides, these will be handy later on. You were about to speak up when the sound of groaning was heard all around you. The three of you had lost track of time as night came upon all of you. Numerous mobs have begun to spawn. Guys? There's a village down here. Find a 1-block hole. That's my marker. Uh-oh. Upon hearing this, Dream already sprinted back ahead, leaving everyone else to follow his lead. As you all ran, you heard a yelp from someone behind you. Ah. George! George was wrestling with a zombie. Sapnap also turned his head around and immediately wielded his axe. As you looked behind the younger brunette, you spot a creeper approaching his way. I say, we don't. I think I'm just gonna let the timer run out. I'm scared too. I'm a robot pope. I don't know what Minecraft is. You couldn't seem to decide, and before you knew it, the creeper had blown up the entire area the three of you had been in. Uh-oh. Oh, we just straight up die. Well, there's the end of RoboPope the Robot Pope. It seems he ran out of time. Bummer. Would you like to try again? Sure. Well, we'll say... Alright, who do you think we should save? RoboPope the Robot Pope, my beloved. Who should we save, guys? I want to give you guys time to actually say something before. Not the green one. The green one's not an option. We can't save Dream. Dream already ran ahead. Yes, we know you don't like green for no reason. We're gonna say, we're gonna save Sapnap. If anything, this will be a failed Sapnap run. You called out for Sapnap to take a big stride to the side as you struck the creeper behind him. You nodded at him to continue his way to George. As the creeper began to flash white, you hit the mob one more time. It recedes into dust, and a few XP orbs of XP had taken its place. When you turn around, you see Sapnap pushing George off in front of him in an attempt to get him to move. He passes you by as you turn back and run with them towards the village. Thanks for having my back, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Dream turns around. Are you guys okay? All three of you nodded in response. Alright, then come on. We're almost there. You all hobbled over to the nearby village. Dream had shoved a random door open and ushered all of you inside, breaking any lever or button nearby the entrance to ensure that no other mob could get in. He really didn't have to, but was better safe than sorry. Dream then sighed as everyone attempted to catch their breath. Anyone hurt badly or anything? You, George, and Sapnap glanced at each other for a minute before shaking your heads all together. Dream sighs in relief before glancing at the iron golem doing its job to protect the village through the window. Well, it seems we're in a library. Might as well make the most of our time here and rest up until daylight comes. Dream and Sapnap nodded at this. Dream continued to stay nearby the door to keep watch for mobs outside. Sapnap had decided to sit by the staircase to the upper floor of the library. George had already gone up to check out the many books on the shelves. You took this time to breathe and venture around. Let's talk to Sapnap. This might end up turning into a Sapnap round if I can't find any of the rude choices. I think Fox was right in that they might be in the George one. The recent events had tired you out. Your legs feeling wobbly, you decide to take a seat next to Sapnap. He glances at you. Tiring day, huh? You nodded as you bunched your arms on your knees and rested your head atop of them. Sapnap leans against the side of the staircase, heaving out a sigh. You looked at him, and it seemed as if gears were turning in his mind. So, biomes? Your eyebrows furrow at him in confusion as he attempted to bring up a random topic to talk about. He flails his hand around. No, see, what I meant was there any place you labeled as your go-to here? Any favorite biome? Nether, plains, or desert biomes, the end. Huh. I think the end is, it's interesting. I haven't played a lot of, 1.16 late game stuff. But I think the Nether is pretty cool. Seeing the bright orange biome makes you feel a bit nervy, but it also makes you bristle with excitement. With mobs contrasting from the overworld, you'd appreciate a slightly challenging setting. Sapnap seems to beam at this. The Nether is so cool! I totally agree. It isn't that hard, but it isn't that easy either. A perfect balance. You agree. It gives you a thrill that's just right. Sapnap gives you a chuckle. Once we're out, let's have a race. First to find the fortress wins. Not being the one who'd back down from a challenge, you accepted the offer. Guys! Sun's out. Let's go out and loot this place. Everyone assembled themselves nearby the entrance of the library. Main focus is to find more iron. If you guys found enough to craft a shield for each of you. I'll look for a furnace and smelt the ones I've mined. I'll keep an eye out for more too. And look for food too. We'll be needing more of it later on. Everyone nods and headed off in various directions. You enter a nearby house to be greeted by a villager who stares at you for a moment before leaving the structure. You shook your head at the random encounter before climbing the stairs to see a chest in the corner. Opening it, you are greeted by 4 pieces of bread, 2 iron ingots, and an apple. Smiling, you stash all of them into your inventory before heading out. You met up with Sapnap and George as they both emerged from a nearby house. George approaches you. He gives you a shield and an iron pickaxe to replace your stone one. Potato boy. No, that's Techno. You noted that he was able to make enough for everyone. Turning around to the sound of footsteps approaching you, you see Dream returning with more iron ingots and a bunch of buckets in his hands. George also made his way to the blonde, handing him a share of the new iron assets. Dream nodded at him in thanks. Nice. Alright, Sapnap? How many obsidian blocks were in the chest? Sapnap pondered for a bit. I think there were 2. Dream glances down at the buckets he had with him and handed a few over to George. Alright, George. You go and get water. I'll go ahead and get some lava, Sapnap. I'll stay here and light up the new portal. You stay here and light up the new portal. Dream bounds off the opposite direction, while George walks to the nearby brook. Sapnap walks down the path towards the ruined portal area. Sapnap. You decide to walk down the path, following Sapnap to the portal. He nods at you whilst taking a seat on the nearby grass block, mirroring him. You both sat in silence for a bit as you waited for the others to return. After a while, Sapnap speaks up. His face seemed serious, and it made you worry quite a bit as you were used to the cherry expression that stayed much more constant on his features. So, what are you looking forward to? Like, what do you want to do when you get out of this? You take his question and ponder for a bit. What was the question? Hold on. Okay, what do we want to take out of the experience? The experience would be useful, something other than normal. I don't know, really. I mean, I guess something other than normal? There were millions of things to try and get out of. There were millions of things to try out here in this universe. You couldn't wait to try it out. It was better than real life, you thought. Sapnap looks at you in bewilderment. You really want to stay here? Like, forever? Your glance drifts to the side. You didn't exactly mean forever, but you wouldn't mind just existing here either. Sapnap had his eyebrows furrowed slightly. He seemed upset at this. Yay, we finally upset someone this run! He continues to toss his flint and steel up one more time until you both turned your heads towards the sound of footsteps that were arriving at your area. I feel bad. I don't like doing the jerk run. You guys got the stuff? Everyone raises their needed item, confirming that they had what they needed. Dream smiles at this before beginning to call George to his help complete the portal together. No! See, the secret endings are always the best endings, because they're either weird, cursed, or really wholesome. You stood by the side as the 3 other members had grouped up together to speed up the portal building process. Once they were finished, Sapnap flicked the stone in his possession and flared the new nether portal to life. The 4 of you grinned at the success of your first half of the plan. Sapnap then glances around to everyone else. Apologies. So, is everyone ready? Dream points to George. Wear your helmet, George. Oh, yeah. Dream quickly applies the helmet and gives a thumbs up. We're ready. Sapnap nods and you all rush over to the line of blocks right before the portal. You inhale deeply and exhale slowly, an attempt to calm your nerves before entering the portal. You peer over to the side to see the other three doing the same. Dream then began to count. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. As Sapnap shouted, all 4 of you had jumped into the portal at the same time. After feeling light for a split second as you thread through the two worlds, you feel gravity pulling you down as you entered the warmer surrounding. You decide to take a step down from the obsidian platform. With the disorientation catching up to you, you had fallen onto your knees, clutched your head. Teleporting from one world to another isn't exactly as fun as it seemed. The other 3 had simultaneously groaned as they landed. Yeah, hopefully we're never doing this again. I second that. Shaking his head, Dream stood up and batted away the netherrack dust that had gotten all over him from the fall. You and the other 2 had followed his lead and did the same. Dream gazes around at the view of the endlessly dripping lava trying to let the scene sink in. The Nether. You can hear the dread in Dream's voice, and you were about to approach him about it before he turned around with a stern look on his face. Gather a bunch of netherrack. We'll need it. You all nodded and split off, and you bounded off to the side, creating a small strip mine. Sorry again. Creating a small strip mine to easily gather a big amount of the nearby material. As you mined away, you heard a loud gasp echo from the outside of the cave. Guys! The fortress! It's right here! You raised your eyebrows in surprise. Was it just near spawn? That's so lucky! You hurriedly mine a bit more netherrack before running outside, catching up to Sapnap, who had evidently done the exact same. Nice find, Goggy. George seemingly cringes at the nickname, but was cut off from the reaction due to the fact that Dream had ruffled his hair. Everyone follows George's lead towards the structure. As your group approaches the nether brick walls, everyone took turns in their bundles of netherrack to maneuver up to an entrance. As you helped each other up the ledge, George gasps as a weather skeleton attacked him. He had managed to bring up a shield in time to block it. George! I'm fine. Let's just go. He shoves the mob back as everyone darted off to the opposite direction. Dream points towards the nearby blaze spawner, calling Sapnap to his side. As they both began to farm for the needed blaze rods, George was busy defending the area from the mobs that had followed you. The 2 different mobs began to multiply as time passed, and you knew you had to help out somehow. I feel like we're just gonna die again if the timer runs out, but we'll see what happens. You couldn't choose which side you should help out on. Before you knew it, the number of mobs had multiplied to the point of overwhelming all 4 of you. Did we die? Yeah. Seems that you ran out of time. Bummer. So I guess we just die all the times we don't choose. I'm still gonna test it out. I think there's one more of the timed things. Will help Sapnap. You quickly situated yourself near Sapnap, fending away a blaze that attempted to get too close to him. He notices your presence and shoots you a grin. Aww! Thanks, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Superhero RoboPope the Robot Pope is here to help. You nodded your head in acknowledgement of his gratitude, continuing to protect him and slaying more of the blazing mobs, whilst at the same time obtaining the rods that drop. We have enough, let's go! You all fought your way through the fortress grounds and went to the nearby netherrack field. As you dashed through the terrain, you noticed that Dream and the others weren't heading for the portal. You racked your brains to wonder why, but remembered that you needed the easiest and quickest way that you all could think of obtaining ender pearls, and that was through piglin trading. You all looked for a biome that had enough mobs that were available for trading. Dream hollers over at you guys to dig a hole surrounding at least 2 or 3 piglins. George passes his golden helmet to Dream as he tosses gold ingots towards the hog-like humanoids, leading them to the hole you all made. With no gold to pass to Piglin's taste, the others had begun to run towards everyone else. Sapnap was on one end of the pit, fighting against 2 ghasts that have simultaneously spawned. George was on the other end, fending off piglins and a few other skeletons that had followed your group. Dream, make it quick! I'm trying! Dream! It's just gonna kill us again, right? We're just gonna die. But, you know, I feel like this timer has gotten even slower. Like, it's giving me more time to make a decision, because I can't seem to decide. Yep. Same thing. Hopefully the green... Why do you want the green one to perish? Okay, so we're gonna fight the gas. But what do you have against green? Please tell me. Yeah, but making up your mind, you decide to rush towards Sapnap's side. One of the ghasts had launched a fireball right towards the brunette. You managed to be quick enough to swing back with your axe. The fireball missed the levitating mob, but Sapnap thanked you nonetheless. I knew I could count on you, RoboPope the Robot Pope. You grinned as you both focused on one ghast each. It took you 4 tries to hit the mob back, while it took Sapnap 2. After defeating both of them, you gave each other a quick high five. Everyone can count on RoboPope the Robot Pope. But shortly after, you both saw that more ghasts were coming your way. Everything had begun to overwhelm you, from the amount of mobs surrounding you all of you, to the huge amount of pressure you're feeling right now. Sapnap began a call-out, peeved tone seeping out of his voice. Dream! Dream rolled his eyes. Let's go! He was visibly irritated as he was pressured, but hopefully everyone would shrug it off. You all bolted towards the right direction to the portal, The one you finally recognized and gasped in relief when you saw the familiar purple particles flaring through the air. Dream reaches it first, not entering the vortex, and instead opted to help out and take a swing at an approaching aggressive piglin mob. Get in! Now! Without a second thought, Sapnap and George had entered the portal, their bodies slowly disappearing in the overworld the longer they stayed in. You glanced back at Dream and hesitated. You didn't want to leave him behind. Dream frowned at you. Go! When you didn't budge, Dream had instead pushed you through the portal. Oof. When you came to, your first reaction was to frantically check your surroundings for the other companions. We're here! We're here, RoboPope the Robot Pope! We're here! From behind you, you hear Sapnap and George's seemingly out of breath. The older of you two were lying on his back, whilst the other was seated on a nearby grass block and swiping the sweat from his chin. George's voice wavered when he spoke up. Where's Dream? Your heart sank when you had to explain what had happened before you teleported back into the overworld. They both frowned at this. Of course he would. We have to go back and see if he's still there. We need to help him. Before their argument could get any bigger, Dream had suddenly appeared in the overworld. He landed onto the grass with a harsh thud. Dream! You all rushed over to his side, to which he waved off. Both Sapnap and George helped him onto his feet. I'm fine. Health check, guys? You all wearily nodded before looking up to your own health bars. George said that he has 4 left. You and Sapnap have the same amount of 3. Dream only had half a heart. Sapnap frowned as George crossed his arms. What happened to being careful, Dream? It's time again, guys. Wait. I'm sorry, it's just so funny. He waves him off as he pulled out a piece of bread to replenish his hunger and regen. All that matters is that we're fine. It was our first, and hopefully last time in the Nether. Of course it'd end up messy. You were about to hand him your golden apple, but he noticed and stopped you from doing so. I told you, you'll need it more than I do. You frowned, but didn't push. You stashed it back into your inventory space as Sapnap approached him to craft Eyes of Ender. As they successfully crafted a few, Dream flicked one up into the air. Flicked one up. It slowly rises and leans towards one direction before ultimately plunging into the ground. The blonde catches it right before it lands and double checks if it's snapped in two. Well, we still have our lead. Let's go. You all fell into step with each other. The walk was quiet, save for the occasional clinking of the Ender eyes that came from Dream. It was a bit too quiet for your liking. Check up on who? Sapnap. We can't check up on no one, apparently. How come there aren't any options for Dream? That's what I want to know. It's always been George or Sapnap these last 2 runs. I'm thinking maybe he's like a secret ending or something. Because I don't know. But I haven't seen any yet. He was nearer to you, being in the middle of a small line of follow the leader. You checked up on him as he finished an apple. Oh, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Yeah, I'm all good now. What about you? Are you okay? You nodded your head, earning him a smile from the brunette. He stretches his arms out wide, the popping of his joints quite audible. That was quite terrifying, huh? No, it wasn't. It wasn't that hard nor scary. You'd rather have something way more challenging. Sapnap looks at you, befuddled. Does nothing ever scare you? You simply shrugged. He scoffed at your reply. Oh, I feel bad again. Everyone stopped and Dream halted his tracks. It's down here, he announced as he whipped out his pickaxe, beginning to mine a way through the ground. George and Sapnap had gone to do the same thing on either side of him, so you decided to follow through and mimic their actions in front of the whole Dreammate. You continue to dig deeper, not even paying attention until you realize you've dug through the stronghold ceiling and fell through. Ooh. RoboPope the Robot Pope! You dealt a bit of damage to yourself thanks to your clumsiness. Dream had safely landed with a water MLG, and so did George, although he let his water spread around for George and for Sapnap to safely land it. You're gonna give us a heart attack, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Be careful next time. You let out a sheepish chuckle as you as you pulled out an apple from your inventory and proceeded to munch on it to regen. You all took a better look at which part of the stronghold you guys were located in. You realized all of you were in the middle of it with 3 pathways. The end portal, the library, and the way to another hallway. Sapnap lets out a huff. Huh, lucky. You patted off the remaining dirt of your clothes as Dream began towards the portal room, getting rid of Silverfish Spawner before starting on filling in the gaps of the portal itself. Sapnap scratches his head before heading off into the empty hallway that led to an iron door. I'll go over here and check if there's any stuff I can grab before we enter. Same. I'll check over here. You were then left to your own devices yet again. Go with whom? Go down the hall, of course. We're bullying Sapnap. You jogged over to Sapnap's side. He shoots you a grin, appreciating your company. You both walk down the empty corridor and find a chest in between a bunch of slabs. Huh? Bingo! He opens up the chest excitedly to find a bunch of rails, coal, and 3 pieces of bread. Sapnap stashed the bread before closing its lid and leaning onto the chest. He seemed unsettled. You think we can take a breather? Stay here for a second? Everything's just so overwhelming. I need to catch up myself for a bit. You nodded, sitting on the slab next to the chest. You hear Sapnap heave a long sigh. RoboPope the Robot Pope? You turn to him, his face unsure. I hope you don't mind me, like, rambling, sort of. I don't normally. I mean, I could say I'm usually affectionate. Oh, it's like that. I hope you don't mind me, like, sort of. I don't normally. I mean, I could say I'm usually affectionate with my friends, but that's off topic. He inhales deeply before, of course, correcting himself. RoboPope the Robot Pope, I think you're really cool. I don't normally say these things out loud, but I just thought I'd let you know. Thanks. You too, I guess. Sapnap leans away as he huffs out a breath. Yeah, let's just... Oh, I feel bad now. Look what you made me done, Globey. Let's pretend that went better. Sapnap then steps away and stretches his arms out. Let's head back. Yeah? George is probably back from the library by now. Dream is definitely done filling up the portal. You agreed and followed him back towards the portal room. As everyone started to regroup, the quiet humming of the finished end portal echoes out. Nervously, Sapnap speaks. Any encouraging words before we hop in? You are a block man. I, RoboPope the Robot Pope. I am RoboPope the Robot Pope. We are not the same. Let's see what Sapnap has to say. When your gazes meet, Sapnap dumbly points at himself. Me? Me? You laughed at him as the other two simply nodded. Sapnap laughs for a bit as he cheekily scratches the back of his head. Well, we don't know how things will go in the end, but I sure hope that we'll make it all back. Actually, no, I'm sure we'll make it all back. Everyone had given each other affirming glances, reassuring one another that they're ready, before staring down towards the black vortex. You gripped on your axe and shield you were wielding. You gripped on the axe and shield you were wielding, your nerves making you feel all jittery. On 3, Sapnap shakily breathes. 2, and everyone began to run up. 3, I realize I forgot 1. But it's fine. I can count. I promise you. I know where to start when I'm counting. Let's just go in. You braced yourself as the discomfort of teleporting began to set in. Ash doesn't know how to count, Pog. Probably not. Who knows? You can't prove I don't. You can't prove I ever knew how to count to begin with. That's counterintuitive. I know how to count. I promise. You covered your mouth as you landed on the obsidian platform, trying to get a hold of yourself. George shakes his head as he checks in on everyone right after landing. Pog moment. RoboPope the Robot Pope, are you okay? You waved him off, coughing as you do so. I am RoboPope the Robot Pope. I am just inherently better than you, block man. I'm fine. It doesn't particularly convince him, but he trusts you enough to regain your balance yourself. Dream and Sapnap seem to have gotten used to the feeling of teleporting as they appear fine. You struggle to get back on your feet as they begin to build their way up towards the center of the island where the dragon was situated. You got yourself on your feet and caught up to them. Go ahead and push towards the dragon. I'll take care of the ender crystals. Make every shot count, George. Of course. He runs off to the sides as he had already begun aiming at the top of the pillars. Dream turns to you. Me and Sapnap will go ahead and land tax on the ender dragon. You steer clear of here, alright? Kill some endermen and grab the pearls that they drop so that you can filter them to us or use them for yourself if you have to flee. You obliged, staying in the outer ring of the island as the two childhood friends rush towards the middle. You dared to make eye contact with the tall void-like mobs to aggravate them. It proved effective as they began to open their mouths their irritating buzzing getting louder as they launched themselves at your shield. You shoved them away and attempted to land hits on them while taking caution of any of their attacks that managed to get too close to you. After taking at least 2 hits from the mob, you counted the amount of ender pearls you'd gained while eating some bread to regenerate your health. Seeing that you've gotten quite a lot, you quickly jump to the mill to throw some towards Stream and Sapnap. Thanks, RoboPope the Robot Pope. Sapnap managed to catch all of it, tossing the other half towards the blonde who had just landed his MLG water. After a few more minutes of combat, it seemed that the Ender Dragon's health had depleted until halfway. George has done his job of shooting all the healing crystals. You were busy looking around for the older male when the dragon had launched a fireball near you. You only heard a soft thudding sound, and before you knew it, you were surrounded by purple particles that began to burn you. Well, guess we'll die. RoboPope the Robot Pope! Use an ender pearl! Get out of there! You fumble over the items in your inventory, finally stumbling over the sphere-like object and throwing it somewhere safer. Your breath was shaky and short puffs as you teleported. You looked up to your health bar to see you had 2.5 hearts left. RoboPope the Robot Pope, are you okay? You want to reassure them that you are fine, even a wave with your hand, but that required effort to do so. The required effort to do so was too much for you and ended up making you feel a lot more lightheaded. George, we need you. Bringing the nearest one to you, George glances back at you worriedly. You shook your head in an attempt to tell him to go help the others. George furrowed his eyes together before turning away and ran towards the middle. I'm right here. We need your help in keeping the dragon away from RoboPope the Robot Pope. Got it. Right. Dream was the sole person out of everyone in the group to have experienced being on half a heart, and you were close. To say it hurt was sugarcoating it. You felt excruciating pain as your heart tried to make for the blood that you had lost from the recent situation. As you breathed heavily, you fiddled around for the golden apple that had stayed in your inventory the entire time. The last time you glanced at the dragon's health bar, it was nearly finished. Just a few critical hits and it would be over. You sighed as you took your time, finally being able to fish it out from all of your belongings. You were about to eat it when you heard a billowing noise from above. The Ender Dragon was coming right at you. RoboPope the Robot Pope! You froze up and shut your eyes tight as you braced yourself for what was about to happen. You heard the noise of a hit. You didn't feel any pain. You opened your eyes and saw... Sapnap. His face full of determination as... No! His face full of determination as he had slowly morphed into a duller expression as he took the hit from the dragon for you. The remaining heart began to fade out the moment you glanced up his health bar. He fell forward. Different parts of his body began to flicker and glitch out as you caught him. He's slowly disappearing into the tiniest of particles. No, 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 no! No! His body felt so cold. Your hands were frantic. You couldn't do anything but hold him. Sapnap, no! George screamed out as he sent his final arrow flying towards the dragon. RoboPope the Robot Pope is incapable of feeling grief, but I'm not. It lets out a screech as it levitates up, light protruding its body as it slowly disintegrates into specks of particles and XP points. Right after Dream had immediately skid towards you two, he holds up one of Sapnap's hands in his tightly. Hey, buddy, stay with us. No! It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. We're right here, pandas. Sapnap shakily looks towards Dream. Dream? Dream, I'm so scared. Dream hushes George as George makes his way to you guys. Dream hushes him as George makes his way to you guys. His eyes were full of tears and he had the look of distraught. No! No! Chloe just said, Mr. Dream, I don't feel so good. Whoa! He kneels down next to you and Sapnap. Wait, could you give him the apple, or... George, please don't go. George grabs hold of his other hand, sobbing into the back of it, as he brought it up to his face. Your head hurts at the sight of all three of them, broken and crying their hearts out. Sapnap then looks at you, his voice barely of a whisper. RoboPope. No! Will you please do me a favor? No, you were about to respond when he gave out a dry huff of laughter. Of course, you can. You're really reliable, RoboPope, the Robot Pope. And I admire that respect of yours. Might I add brave to that list, too. He sends you a pained smile, his body beginning to dematerialize into tiny specks of pickles. Oh. Watch over them for me, okay? No. Before you could even accept his request, the echoes of his quiet giggles ring out one last time before the weight in your arms disappeared together. George lets out a loud wail as Dream covered his mouth to control his sobbing. No! You sat there motionless, unable to properly comprehend what had just happened. You feel numb, but you're also beginning to shed your own share of tears. All three of you had stayed there a little bit longer, allowing yourselves to grieve over a while. After a few moments, Dream took a shaky stance up, whilst wiping the tears from his face. He reached out to both of you, and George urged to help both of you up to your feet. Come on. We have to go. He keeps his grip on both of your sleeves and George as he leads all three of you to the exit portal. It was silent, and he pulls both of you into the vortex. Oh my gosh. You woke up on your bedroom floor, crutching and throbbing at your head. It seemed you'd fallen over your chair again. You hear your phone buzzing from your desk. Groaning, you crawled over it to check what the notifications were going off for. For the first few spams, it had been your friends, as apparently you were late from your Hypixel game together with them. The most recent one was, George not found went live, fixing my chair. Huh. You tapped on the notification and turned into the stream. I think this was a terrible run, Chloe. Dream, will you have... I'm not reading. Dream, George lets out a confused huff of laughter. You found it funny that this is what you hear the first moment you join the stream. What? No. Will you please reconsider? Come on, George. It's a funny video. Then you hear a British male scoff lightheartedly at the younger male's antics. You're so weird. Come on, restart your Minecraft launcher. I fixed my chair the best I can. Let's work on the code again now, right? Maybe even teach chat a thing or two. Right, sure. Give me a sec. You smiled. Their streams were always so fun to watch, especially the times when they began being competitive with each other to the point of screaming and leaving calls as jokes. All of a sudden, you feel like something was missing. You glance down at the charm connected to your phone. Your friend had given it to you as a birthday present. It was a panda. And then you remembered. Oh yeah, your Hypixel game. You should really get back on the— What? No! You forgot about— No! Sapnap, bad ending pandas. No! Okay, you have to quit things. I have to go soon, but I feel really bad about that. I wanna go through it again. I'm not gonna read through all of it, but I want to get the good ending for Sapnap. I feel like we owe it to him. That was so sad. I guess we answered the question from last time. I guess if you die in the game, you do die in real life. Sapnap did not pass the vibe check. RoboPope the Robot Pope had a terrible run, and as payment for that, RoboPope the Robot Pope must go again, and get the good ending. He will pass the vibe check this time. Sapnap did nothing wrong, in this game. Hold on, wait. Options. Skip, Oh, okay. Here, I'm just gonna skip through. Sapnap is legit. I haven't watched much of his content, but like I want to. I'm trying to get slowly into the into more of the Dream SMP people other than like SBI and well, I watch Dream sometimes. He doesn't really stream.
Hi.
RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second.
Hi.
Alright.
Hello.
Oh, this makes it a lot easier. Okay, so we're gonna wander around. Yep. Beach. You realize that you hadn't been in front of the you've been in the front of the computer so much lately that you haven't appreciated the outside world as much as you should have. Maybe being aware that you might get stuck here helped remind you of that. Oh, look at him. Huh. I guess I've gotten used to the people telling me they'd rather stay online at all time. Maybe once we get out, you'd like some company on your walk? Yes! You let out a teasing hum, not particularly taking up his offer, but not flat out rejecting it either. You let out a tiny giggle when you see the tiniest pout form on the brunette's face. The pout quickly transforms into a smile, though. He gently grabs a hold of your hand as he led both of you down the path. Okay, we've seen this. Ba-ba-ba. Defend Sapnap. Okay. Yay! We defended him. Let's talk more about biomes. Yeah. The Nether. He liked that. Yeah. Look how we're speed running, guys. Follow Sapnap. We just saw this. Wait, was it? What do we want to get out of this? I don't know. He kind of liked the something other than normal, I think. No, wait, he didn't like it. Oh. Alright. Alright, it's fine. We're just gonna skip through it. We know the answers.
I don't know.
We're just gonna keep adding stuff on, okay? Yeah, this. Yep. Defense snap nap. Oh, skipping. Biomes. Skip. Nether. Skip. Ba 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 ba. Okay, and then follow Sapnap. And then what we're not gonna not this one. The experience would be useful. It wasn't as if you enjoy the idea of being stuck in some sort of virtual reality, but sometimes you like to look on the brighter side of things. Besides, this could come in handy for future situations, with it exercising your patience and all. Sapnap seemed to be in thought. Yay! Okay, we did the right one then. As much as I love Minecraft and all, being here sucks. I just want to go back home and be in my bed, stay on call with the other two. But you're right, maybe I should think more positively about this, rather than to think against it the entire time. We'll be right here. We'll be here. You agreed. You can't stay upset forever, or else you wouldn't reach a clear solution. You received a calmer look from the brunette. Yay! Thunk. Gasp.
Ah.
Ugh. Ugh. Sapnap. I was scared for you. Ahaha. Sapnap was surprised to hear that. Me? You were worried for me? You nodded. It was a terrible experience in your opinion. There were way too many close calls. You were glad that you were able to keep you were glad you were able to aid him from time to time and keep him away from danger as much as you could. Oh, hey, Pug. This is the Minecraft dating sim. I'm actually about to end it off soon. I just wanted to get the good ending for Sapnap because we got the bad ending and I almost I cried a little bit, just a little bit. Why did you tell Pug to watch this, Chloe? Oh, he looks at you with a goofy grin. So you were worried for me, huh, RoboPope RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second Junior? They don't. It's actually rated G, minus some cuss words in some routes. Omega lol. So you were worried for me? He had that annoying and teasing tone as he leaned close to your face. Deeming him as too close for comfort, you shove his face away. No! Pug, why? He lets out a hearty chuckle at your reaction. You're adorable, RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second Junior. I am flattered for your concern, thank you. I'm just gonna keep, I feel like that's what I'm gonna do whenever we do bad runs, is I'm just gonna keep expanding the name. I'm gonna have to look up prefixes and postfixes for names. Because you let out a huff, but it wasn't out of annoyance. You rolled your eyes as you focused on the path you guys were taking. Okay, we've heard all this. Go down the hall. Yeah, ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I like you too. Sapnap looks at you with his eyes wide, his face flushed. Huh? And then his face broke out into a grin. Look at him! That's cool. That's really, really cool. Aww. It seems that he was rendered quite speechless as he was reduced to only a goofy smile on your face. He stands up and gives you a hug. Surprised, you slowly hug him back. They're not dead! No one's gonna die this run, hopefully. Sapnap's face was flushed, but his smile was still permanent. Sapnap then steps away and stretches his arms out. Let's head back, yeah? George is probably back from the library by now, and Dream's definitely done filling up the portal. Okay, ba-ba-ba. Turn to Sapnap. You've heard all this before. You heard the noise of a hit. You don't feel any pain. You opened your eyes and saw... Please don't tell me there's no good ending for Sapnap. Look at him! Sapnap, who wielded his axe and managed to land the last hit at the dragon that had been only one hit away. I know, but like, what if there was just a Oh, wait, you're talking to Bug. The dragon screeches as it levitates up, light protruding its body as it slowly disintegrates into specks of particles and XP points. Right then, a sound effect echoes about from Sapnap himself. Sapnap has made the advancement free the end. No, I don't think you get the XP from players. In this, I don't think we got Sapnap's XP. Everything was silent before all three of them began to whoop loudly. Sapnap! Oh my god! You did it, brother! They hoisted up the younger male onto each of their shoulders as they continued to holler and celebrate. Aww. And then, of course, Sapnap joined in on making the loudest noises he could pull off. From screaming out to chanting, yeah, multiple times, and in beat with the other two. Just different colored clothes. After the whole while of being stunned, you let out a share of giggles. The boys turned around as they heard you laugh. The two best friends had shared a mischievous look with one another before finally settling on the choice to run over to your area. Surprised, Sapnap gripped his tightly onto their clothes as he was still situated on their shoulders. Whoa! Guys, slow down, oh my god! He was silenced when he looked back up and saw you. RoboPope, the Robot Pope Junior, the second junior. He hops off his friend's shoulders and latched onto you instead, enveloping you in what seemed to be his equivalent of a bear hug. You wrap your arms around him, his laughter ringing in your ear, but you can tell that he is relieved to see that you are safe. You glanced up to see George smiling down at you two while Stream gave you your golden apple back. You tried to reel your arms back from the mail, but he squeezed you a bit tighter. When he spoke up, it was a bit of a mumble. Let me hold you a bit longer. Aww. Flushed, you looked up at Dream, who simply shook his head as he wore an amused smile. He glances up a bit over to George, before clasping a hand over the younger male's shoulder. Sap, come on. RoboPope, the Robot Pope, the second junior needs the room to breathe too. It was as... Don't make me time you out. Pug, don't make me time you out. Oh, hold on. Uh-oh. Did I... Come on. I clicked on, there we go. Fixing it. Game crash, Pog. No, I made Streamlabs not wide enough, so when I clicked on Pug's name, it wouldn't it didn't give me the option to close it, so I just couldn't read the bottom half of the chat. It was as if you were dealing with a child, because Sapnap reluctantly let go with a pout on his face. We know. You laughed at him, taking a bite from your golden apple before nudging it nearer to him. Happy ending, Pog. He sends you a tiny grin. Thanks, RoboPope, the Robot Pope, the second junior. You're the best. He stands up and grabs your arm to help stabilize you onto your feet. Once you're properly standing, he didn't let go of your arm. In fact, he decided to intertwine your fingers with his. You looked at him whilst being aware that your cheeks were flushed. His hold tightens as he sends you a grin. George decides to coo at the two of you teasingly. Aw, look at little Sappy Nappy. George, can you shut up? Aw. Sapnap lets out an irritated huff while you let an amused giggle behind your vacant hand. Dream looks towards you two with a pleased glance before turning to George and heading to his best friend's side. Pug, I actually will time you out. You gotta stop. But my Twitch chat is not the place to make these jokes. Come on. Dream looked at you with a pleased glance before returning to George and heading to his best friend's side. As you all walked towards the exit portal, you peered down at the swirling black vortex. You were still nervous. Will this actually bring you guys home? It seemed that your anxiousness was seeping through the surface as Sapnap's hold on your hand had tightened once more. He looked at you with a comforting smile. You know, for a brave person, you worry too much. Want to know one thing I've learned from this entire thing? Your silence was a nudge for him to continue his statement. It was that I shouldn't challenge things the time. Trust in the process. Lean back a little. Take a deep breath. I learned this from you, so trust in me this time, okay? Your heart fluttered at the words of reassurance and thanked him through the squeeze of your hand. He finds this adorable and lets out a quiet chuckle. Dream then looked at each of you. On 3, everyone grinned at him. 1, 2, 3. Look how long it is. You woke up on your bedroom floor, clutching at your throbbing head. It seemed that you had fallen over your chair. You hear your phone buzzing on your desk, groaning as you crawled over to check what your notifications were going off for. The first few spams had been your friends, so you were apparently late for your Hypixel game together with them. The most recent one was Sapnap went live. Chair got wrecked, lol. Sapnap. Minecraft, the realm. You quickly pressed on the notification, the stream's audio booming out of your phone's speakers. Ha ha ha. Sure, chat. You guys think you're so funny. At least my chair broke. Most of you probably are. Which is why those other people who's aren't. Which is why. What? Oh, he's calling his chat broke. Which is why those other people who aren't should gift me more subs while I fix my chair. You laughed at the curt reply that had come from the mail. That is definitely your Sapnap. You decide to send a dono, thinking that hopefully it'll catch its attention. You can hear the loud shuffling from the stream's audio. Okay, who thought it was funny to just dono me, hey Sapnap? He decided he cut himself off. RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second Junior? Wait, hold on. RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second Junior? DM me on Twitter right now. Scrambling towards the Twitter app and turning the stream's video into a picture-in-picture at the bottom of the corner of the screen, you tried your best to send him a message as quickly as you could. You're aware how fast the fanbase could steal any identity after all. You send him RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second, my Junior, my beloved. You send him a message. Sapnap! It's me! Do you remember everything? The Minecraft realm, the hallway, the golden apple? You waited anxiously for the answer when you hear the telltale sound of someone joining TeamSpeak. Sapnap! Wait, hold on guys, shut up. What do you mean shut up? It's RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second Junior. Oh my god, Sapnap. Mute your audio now, moron. And then radio silence followed right after. The only thing being presented in the stream was someone's fan art of his character. You looked at your Twitter DMs when your phone buzzed. RoboPope the Robot Pope the Second Junior. It's you. Oh my god, it's really you. He smiled sweetly at his response. Before you could even reply back, he sent you another message. How do you want to work this out? Do you want to, like, VC? After the stream or something? Talk things out there? Dream's telling me to buy you a ticket to here. He's annoying. Pug, are you calling me a simp or Cherry a simp? Aw, thank you! He's annoying. But if you want to, then I don't mind talking to him about it. I'm sorry, I'm spamming it, aren't I? You let out a chuckle. You're good, Sapnap. I wouldn't mind talking these things out later. Nor would I mind visiting you. When Sapnap unmuted, you can hear the sound of him stumbling and things creaking and cracking. George's laughter echoed throughout the call. Did you just fall and break your chair again? Dream's wheezy laughter makes its entrance. Sapnap, get a hold of yourself. You watch the chat as they both push on with questions about you and laughing at Sapnap's antics. The chair is in VP. You can't wait for the call after the stream ends. Aww! Aww, yay! Alright, that was such a good ending. Okay. I do have to go now this time. I have a visit for college to do tomorrow. Here. I got a hold on, close. What happens when you get 50 followers? You ban Clovey. I probably will stream tomorrow. Here. I got an end stream card now, guys. I'll probably stream tomorrow, hopefully. If I'm not, just super tired. Oh, that's loud. If I'm not just super tired, I'll probably stream tomorrow. I'll probably more endings of this. Although if you guys have any suggestions for like other things you want to see, I would love to like hear them. Like at me on Twitter. All of my stuff is up there now. Oh, thank you. But no, when we hit 50 subs, we will. I'm gonna do a horror game stream because I am bad at horror games and I don't like them. Yeah, I'll help you with hardcore, Clovey. But yeah, I'm going to head out now. I hope you all have wonderful evenings. If you want, you can follow me on my YouTube where I post my VODs so they don't disappear after like 30 days, because I think Twitter does that, or not Twitter, Twitch does that. My Instagram, I haven't really figured out what I'm supposed to post there, but it's a thing. And then my Twitter, where you get notifications for when I'm live, other than unless if you wanted another thing to give you a notification besides Twitch. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good